Hello, I'm Jan Cosgrove. Now, on the 6th of May, there's going to be a by-election in Pevensey Ward, where you live. And the reason for that is the resignation of the previous councillor, and we thank her for her service in the past 2 years. I'm standing as independent for Bognor, and I have been your councillor in the past for 14 years, indeed. And when I resigned last time, I was on the verge of just discovering my father in America, and I was in my 60s then, and he was in his 90s. So you can imagine that took quite a bit of diversion, you might call it. I'm standing as independent for Bognor. Your polling stations, by the way, will not necessarily be the ones you've had before because of difficulties over COVID. Polling cards have probably gone out by now, and if you want a postal vote, you'll need to get that application in by the 12th of April. Okay, and I would urge people to think very carefully, if they haven't got one, to go and get one. You don't have to have any reason, you can just have one if you want it. Now, I actually started serving this community well before I ever became a councillor. Some of you, perhaps you were children then, perhaps you were parents, and now you may be grandparents, you will remember the Bognor Fun Bus, which often appeared at Hampshire Avenue or Westloats Lane, or indeed in Pevensey Road. And that I started in 1983. It ran for 28 years, and much the same reason it stopped, because my family commitments, got in the way, as it were. However, we'll come back to that. Why do I want to stand, and why do I think you could do well by voting for me on the 6th of May? Well, frankly, Arran District Council is in a mess, especially over Bognor issues. I'll come to that, but we need a voice that is strong and gets things done, and frankly doesn't spend time bickering over party politics, which is what we've been seeing not only in the last administration up to 2019, led by the Tories, but also the Lib Dem coalition, which has continued that, getting nowhere. I'll come back to that as far as what can be done. Look, the position of being a councillor is a voluntary position. It's not a paid job. So why, you may ask, are some councillors in this area claiming up to £32,000 a year in councillor allowances? Or they're allowed to. Or why are even those who don't have a lot of claim getting automatically £6,500 plus a year? I will not take allowances. I don't believe they're right, and I would prefer, if you elect me, I would try to make that money work in the ward. Okay? Now, I will claim, where necessary, travel expenses. But even there, I've got a bus pass. And there are other councillors who I'm sure will give me a lift there and back to Arran meetings, and I can walk to the town council meetings at the town hall. So that is clear. I wish other councillors and other candidates would take note of that in these very difficult times. Because Arran District Council is in a financial crisis. It has no money, really, to speak of. That's partly COVID and partly because of its own ineptitude. One of the things I've noticed about Pevensey over the years is the degree of deprivation in parts of the ward. On one side in the ward, on one side of Westmeads Drive, it's in one of the 1/3 highest deprivation in the country. Just over the road on the other side and further in, it's in the top most affluent areas. Nothing's changed in all these years. And we need to actually tackle that, because it's affecting people's life chances. It even affects how long they live. It's as blunt as that. So I mean now to carry on doing something better. The County Council plans to close Victoria Drive Day Centre, Family Centre. This is madness in a deprived ward, And there is a big petition on change. You'll find it online. Please go and sign it if you haven't already. Years ago, there was youth provision. People remember West Oats Lane Boys Club and the Youth Club, and also the 39 Club, number 18, in which I was involved, and so much else. All gone. Cuts. And yet, my knowledge as National Secretary of Fair Play for Children is that this is probably breaking the law on the part of our county council. They're supposed to provide a sufficiency of provision for under 13s and over 13s. It's just not happening. The Phoenix Centre at the school was built with £1.2 million worth of government money for our young people. They haven't been able to get in it. It's not just COVID. One of the things I will work for very hard is to get it opened up on a daily basis. Look, there's £65,000 worth of recording equipment there for them. No, this has got to stop, and I will be leading that fight. Now, another issue, regeneration. This is where I'm afraid Arran District Council has shown itself at its worst. It started a master plan in 2004. It's taken them all these years to get precisely nowhere. Now, there is a regeneration scheme I think is the best one. It's £90 million worth of private investment. It will bring us an 1,100-seater multi-purpose entertainment and conference centre. It will be a whole load of new facilities on the seafront. It will do for Bognor what is being done for other places when they've taken up regeneration. We're falling behind because of our council. Now, that £90 million, Arran has been blocking. It's got planning permission. And all they've done is said, oh, we'd rather do just redevelopment. More flats. One scheme that's around, one idea for so-called regeneration, over 700 flats. Not right. The others are just tart up the Regis Centre if we can get the government money. Tart it up, that's all. So no, the regeneration scheme I favour will bring in £90 million, and I believe that's what we should be doing. There's a lot else I could tell you about, but look, I've got to come to a close at this point, otherwise you'll go away and make tea. And I've got a cup waiting here for me at the moment. So I've got an election leaflet. It won't be coming round by post. It'll go out via Facebook, and you can download it. It's got links to things like the fun bus in the old days, and quite a lot else as well. A lot of fun. A lot of things you might find yourself there. I have a Facebook page. That's Facebook's/1 Bognor. And I also publish a newspaper regularly every week called the Bognor Regis Herald Online. So you can have an independent councillor who will work for you hard. Take no expenses and get some things into this ward that it's been denied and is lacking. And also, you can be sure, an effective voice that they won't want to hear, but they certainly will. Thank you for watching.